So in the previous video, we have seen the importance of TS diagram in the analysis of the thermodynamic systems. Now, in this session, we will be trying to understand how the TS diagram for various reversible processes will be looking like, or how to identify the different curves in a given TS diagram. So let's start with the TS diagram for an reversible adiabatic process. TS diagram for a reversible adiabatic process. Remember what all discussions we are doing, what all graphs we are doing are for reversible processes, that is to be taken care of. So for the reversible adiabatic process, we have seen that is a special topic or special process of our interest when we learned about entropy. You know, for a reversible adiabatic process, the entropy change ds given by d bar q r over t will be equal to 0. The reason is it's adiabatic, so there is no heat entering the system, so there will not be any entropy change due to heat transfer. Moreover, the process is given to be a reversible one, so there is no chance of entropy production or entropy change by any other methods. You know, the entropy change in a system or in the universe can be caused due to two reasons. One is due to the heat transfer, and the other one is due to the presence of irreversibilities. So if you say that a particular process is reversible in nature, then there is only one possibility for the change in entropy, that is the transfer of heat, either heat entering the system or heat leaving the system. So that is one reason qualitatively, conceptually, that what we say that the entropy change during a reversible adiabatic process is 0, right? Hope you understood it. So with this we have already concluded in our previous sessions. So ds is equal to 0 for a reversible adiabatic process, and it means that S is a constant. S is a constant. So S equal to a constant during a reversible adiabatic process, or such processes we had named earlier as what is known as isentropic processes. Isentropic. Okay, the process where entropy remains constant. So automatically we should be happy that an reversible adiabatic process, which is otherwise an isentropic process, will be represented by a straight line graph in the TS diagram. You know, okay. And on the diagram given right side, you can see that the isentrope has been represented by a vertical line here. Vertical line. The reason you can clearly know, because the entropy has been taken along the x-axis. So some value of entropy is there at this particular point. So throughout the process that is happening, you know, the value of the entropy remains constant even though the temperature is what going on changing. So this particular diagram or this vertical line represents the isentrope in the TS diagram, right? Now let's come to the next simple process, which is a reversible isothermal process. A reversible isothermal process. Once again, since temperature is one of the variables, one of the axes in the TS diagram, you know, an isothermal process should be represented by a straight line. Certainly it will be a straight line that is horizontal. Okay, a straight line that will be horizontal, because throughout the process the temperature remains what? Constant. So the temperature will be remaining steady throughout the process. So such process, otherwise known as this curve is known as an isotherm, and the other curve was named as isentrope. Okay, isentropic is the name of the process. Isentrope is the curve. Similarly, isotherm is the constant temperature curve. Whether it is a PV diagram or it is a TS diagram, it will be named as isotherm, right? So that is there. Now, there are two more processes, standard typical processes that we are interested in. One will be an isobaric process with constant pressure, and the other one will be an isochoric process where the volume remains constant. So those two processes are shown by two graphs here. There are two curves here which represents the two processes. Now you can see that the shape of the graph, okay, the shape of the graph is almost, both of them are looking similar. So of course it will be a problem. It may arise as a problem that if you are having a TS diagram in which a part of the process is isochoric and another part of the process is isobaric, how do you distinguish between the isochoric and isobaric process? Okay, the thing that you can clearly understand is that these two graphs, even though they are looking similar in the shape, they have different slopes. You can see that the isochoric curve, which is named as isochore, will be steeper than the isobar. That is a general conclusion that you can arrive at. So we had a similar relationship in PV diagram or the indicator diagram. Do you remember what is that? Yeah, there we compared what is known as an adiabat with an isotherm. Adiabat was compared with isotherm in the PV diagram, and we have seen that an adiabat is steeper than isotherm, right? The same manner in the TS diagram, the role is changed. Okay, the role is changed. The role here, the comparison occurs between isochore and isobar. So you can see isochore means V equal to constant. V equal to constant. And isobar means what? P equal to constant. And just it's a matter that you can note that these were the two variables that was taken in a PV diagram along the X and Y axis. Okay, now their roles have changed. Now they are to be compared. Their curves, their slopes are to be compared. And one point to be noticed that in TS diagrams, the isochores will be steeper than the isobars for the same system. Okay, now let's say, how do we conclude that an isochore is cheaper than isobar? Let's try to compare it. So you know what is the catch of the topic is that what is the slope of this graph? What will be the slope of this graph? It will give you a hint how to proceed and compare or how to proceed and prove that isochore is cheaper than isobar. What is the slope of this graph? You know, slope of the graph you usually mathematically you know that you are finding out by finding out what is known as tan theta for the given diagram, right? So just maybe you are just finding out tan theta like this, some theta 1 here, theta 2 here. You just compare what is the value of tan theta at the particular point. That's what we usually do, right? So what will be tan theta here? So slope in this TS graph, slope will be equal to, won't it be equal to the delta y, is it not? What is this delta y? Or I can say this is, if it is infinitesimally small, I can say it is some small. So let me say that this is some dt, right? That is dt. And this is the corresponding ds, because x-axis is entropy and y-axis is temperature. So what will be slope equal to of the graph? That will be equal to dt over ds, dt or delta t by delta s, dt over ds. So if we are able to find out a relationship for dt over ds for the two processes separately, and if you are able to compare those values, you will be able to just conclude which one will be steeper and which one will be what not that much steeper, right? So that is our technique that we are going to do. So let's say how to do that. Okay, now in general, we have seen from the definition of entropy change during a reversible process, generally we have, so let's start from here. So we are trying to prove this statement what we have made. So we have the infinitesimal amount of heat that is transferred during a reversible process, dqr, it is related to TdS. That is our first relationship that will be using TdS. Okay, S is the entropy. Now for isobaric process, so let's take separately isobaric and isochoric. For isobaric process, for isobaric process. Let's just see. We can write what is this using the first law of thermodynamics and its rearrangement. We have seen, we have used previously many a times. D bar Q R can be written as Cp dt minus, do you remember what is that? Cp dt minus Vdp. We have two very similar expressions. One applicable for isobaric process and another applicable for isochoric process. Okay, which is obtained by modifying the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, d bar qr is equal to some du plus dq, right? D bar qr is equal to some just now we have been writing see du and dw, right? Du is equal to, that is what we are using. See, du equal to, that is what we have seen. Du is equal to d bar q plus d bar w. This is the expression that we have been using, and we kept d bar q as same, and d bar w is equal to minus p dv, right? Therefore d bar q will be equal to du plus p dv, right? Du plus p dv. This is one thing that we were doing, du plus p dv. And then hope you remember that we added Vdp and subtracted Vdp, and then we rearranged, okay, and finally we obtained this expression. We have done it previously also. Try to recall this one. If you recall this equation straightforward, then it is quite easy for us, right? Now this is Cp dt minus what? Vdp. This is the thing. This is a general equation. So for isobaric process, how this equation will change? You know, for isobaric process, this d bar q, the Cp dt, remember this Cp dt is nothing but du. That was substituted from du, because we had du or Cp, you can write Cp is equal to du by dt, right? No, du by dt at what? Constant pressure. So you multiply, see, that is the definition of heat capacity. So at constant pressure, so you multiply this one, so du will be equal to Cp dt, right? That's what we are getting. So this expression, if you can recall directly, you can just understand this one, right? So now this equation is there. I'm writing for isobaric process, what will be this equation becoming? This is an equation for isobaric process. You know, this dP will be equal to what? This is the first law of thermodynamics. This dP will be equal to 0. So I can write directly for isobaric process, d bar qr will be equal to simply the first term will be remaining, that is Cp dt. So this is my second equation. Remember, this is first law of thermodynamics, modified form of the first law of thermodynamics. We have represented first law of thermodynamics for various processes in our second module. So this is Cp dt. So d bar qr is equal to Cp dt for a isobaric process. So now what you can do? Can you just compare 1 and 2? Okay. So both LHS are equal. So what I can do is that I can write see TDS. So 1 and 2 will give 1 and 2 gives TDS is nothing but equal to Cp dt, right? And what is your aim? Your aim is to compare the slope. So let me see what is dt by ds. Okay, dt by ds. Therefore, from this you will be getting therefore dt by ds. dt by ds. You can rearrange that one. So what will be dt by ds? So you know, we have considered this one is a isobaric process. So we write that is at a constant pressure. That will be equal to T by Cp, right? So T by Cp. So T by Cp. So that is my third equation. Let's keep it there. So in the same manner, what you have to do? You have to obtain the slope for the isochore. Okay. So for that, what you have to do? You can begin the same manner we have done with this one, right? So also d bar qr, you have yet another form of d bar qr. What is d bar qr? It is equal to, similar to this expression that I have written, I can write this one as Cv dt is it not? Hope you remember this equation, CV dt. So it was Cp dt minus Vdp. Here it will be, instead of that, Cv dt plus Pdv. Plus Pdv. We have used this expression multiple times previously. So this is from first law. From first law. Modified form of first law of thermodynamics. First law in terms of Cv. First law. Right? Now for isochoric process, you know, there is an advantage for isochoric process. Okay, what is this? dV will be equal to 0. So this dV will be equal to 0. So what will be that one? D bar QR will be simply equal to Cv dt. So that is my fourth equation. Now can you use equation 1 and 4 the same manner? So from 1 and 4, what you will get? You will get that T ds is equal to Cv dt. Is it not? T ds is nothing but equal to Cv dt. Or it will give you, what do you need? You need to compare a slope. So it is dt by ds. dt by ds. You can rearrange that one. So for the constant volume, that would be equal to nothing but T divided by, what is that? T divided by Cv. T divided by Cv. Equation number 4. Right? So equation 3 gives the slope of the isobar, and equation 4 gives you the slope of the isochore. So what you do, just you take directly you can just compare, is not, because it's for the same value of temperature. Okay, so you can just compare which slope will be greater. Okay, so numerator is the same, T and T. So it depends only on Cp and Cv values. And don't you know, for gaseous system, what is the comparison of Cp and Cv? That Mayer's relation will help you. So I can say that since Cp always, it's not, Cp is always greater than Cv. That's what you are seeing. Cp greater than Cv, what you can say? Okay, who is coming in the denominator? Yeah. So equation 3, Cp is in the denominator. So I can say that dt over ds for which one? Isobaric. So P, that should be less than dt over ds for V. Okay, and is not what we have stated earlier? The slope for the isobar should be lesser than the slope for the isochore, or this conclusion or this statement is proven. Okay, so remember, in the TS diagram in general, for the same system, the isochore will be always cheaper than isobar. Remember it as a fact, right? So in a way, we are now able to identify different processes when they are represented in a temperature entropy diagram. And I hope in the next video we will be able to draw the TS diagram for diesel engine and also a petrol engine. Okay, thank you.